I feel like this is interesting. I don't, because it says there is no black YouTube. In my eyes, I feel like it is a black version of YouTube because you don't like. I mean, I'll explain it later.
My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair.
Like this form of content right here. Only, I mean, most black people flock to this content right here.
On your arm,
including me. I'm black. I'm black.
Know, women I deal with, they don't have hair on their arms.
Stop! But I ain't gonna lie, that would drive me crazy. That would be like some torture or something like that, bro. Just put me in a room, lock me in it, just force me to watch 20v1s, pop the balloons and all that stuff, bro. Oh yeah, I would go crazy.
Black YouTube must be stopped at all cost. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what would be a good little clickbait title. It's been about a year since I've actively started making content on YouTube. And within that year, I've dedicated this channel to cultural critiques and media analysis. Specifically, black media analysis. The reason being, it's almost impossible to separate racial politics from how we as black people create art. From music to film, poetry, all the way down to mainstream politicians. All forms of black media are shaped by racial politics, whether we see it at a surface level or not. Previous videos, I've talked about how, due to a variety of factors, it's harder for us to tell our unfiltered and raw stories in the mainstream entertainment industry. Either having to sidestep around in order to avoid pissing off white folks, or just not having the resources on a systemic level. But with the resources we do have, we managed to make it work, while doing a pretty damn good job at it. And I'd be lying if I said YouTube wasn't one of those resources. YouTube has been a massive—
I was just gonna say that YouTube is the biggest resource of black people, just spreading just a lot of what is it, like a lot of trends, basically.
Tool for black creators. It being free allows us to distribute our art and content in a way that wasn't possible in years before it. And it doesn't matter what that content is: music, skits, streaming, gaming, politics, video essays, animation. If you can create it,
where am I? Why you put me here?
Best believe you'll find some kind of audience for it. But as good as YouTube may be for these reasons, it's not immune to criticism. The same platform that allows black creators to reach large audiences also has problem with how it treats said black creators. There's been countless creators from various genres detailing their negative experiences with YouTube. From the flagging of racially sensitive topics all the way to the double standards implemented when compared to white creators. YouTube is all about clicks. It's how they make their money. If someone's content is too inflammatory, too risque, or too controversial, advertisers aren't gonna wanna play any ads on it. No ads, no money. And given the sensitivity of racial topics, YouTube will always be hit or miss when it comes to it. But on the other hand, YouTube is all about clicks. Whatever generates the most attention and controversy will get clicks. And as long as what's being—
And that's crazy, because really, you see people do the most craziest thing to get some clicks. They might put some adult content creators on there to get clicks and everything, bro.
It isn't too extreme, advertisers will run ads on it. In other words, as long as it doesn't upset advertisers, YouTube will promote it if it's popular, regardless of if it's harmful or regressive. So what do you do in a position as a black creator on YouTube? You have a platform that's willing to promote some of the most ridiculous and stereotypical content en masse just to earn a few dollars, regardless of the implication it leaves. Do you speak out? Do you ignore it? Do you try to just do your own thing? Well, I'll tell you one thing, you could always play right into it.
Ain't nothing that nigga do with some bad knees. That means she can't even good.
Put it on him. Get up on now.
I'm in heels and you ain't tall enough.
Okay.
Don't do too much.
Well,
though.
you're not qualified, baby.
Alright.
You gonna let me eat that ass?
Oh yeah, no.
I know y'all just in. We've been working on what the wait, hold on. How you doing? Hey, y'all know
What's your man? What y'all doing?
Let's talk about niggatry. 20v1s, balloon pops, dating roulettes, the Zeus network, the whole shebang. I'm sure by now you're aware of the various forms of black humiliation content that's taken over YouTube these past few months.
Nah, King Sid and No Love Mar are at the pinnacle. They're at the top of the black YouTube term.
They're everywhere, with dozens of channels raking in millions of views per video. They all follow the same formula. Contestants compete against each other for the affection of the video's guest, the one they're trying to date, or vice versa. The entertainment in all of it comes from the drama that stems from the scenarios, usually resulting in someone getting humiliated in the process, typically the contestants. While this type of content has always existed, it's exploded in popularity within the past few months.
And like I said, 20v1s have to end. And Pot of Balloons, except Arlette, she don't want to do that. But 20v1s and Pot of Balloons must cease January 1st, 2025.
There's
Gotta go.
more extreme
Gotta go.
tactics in order to keep the hype train going. This includes employing anti-black stereotypes and tropes, to feeding into scripted and harmful dating dynamics, all the way down to exploiting literal children. It doesn't matter how over-the-top, regressive, or offensive it may be, if it gains clicks, it'll get promoted. As much as we rightfully scrutinize the foolishness within this type of content,
Now that is the wildest thing right there. I don't know. I seen Pretty Boy Fredo do it. He got punished for it. Next, you know, other people just start. Oh yeah, let me go about baby pictures. Oh, you look good in this baby picture. Oh, you might look good in real life. No, now that you're grown up. Why are we doing this?
and we don't often examine the conditions that allowed for them to even be in this position. We might play a role in that. Black humiliation content, the 20v1s, the balloon pops, the influencers, all of this is a byproduct. The direct result of both YouTube's exploitative models as well as our own ignorance and willingness to play along with it. And unless we recognize both, this type of content is going to continue to get pushed out. So let's dive in head first. And I can only hope that I see you on the other side.
Have you ever been beat on by a bad
Nah,
bitch?
this guy's good. I ain't gonna lie.
No, actually, I mean, girl, what the fuck is you asking me?
As usual, before we dive into the topic, I need to establish some ground so that everyone is on the same page. What this video is not going to be is your typical black YouTube is evil, hood culture is gonna kill us all type of video. Mostly because, well, of what is black YouTube? While I intend to criticize the minstrelsy and outright of some of this content, I have no interest in playing into respectability politics. This video is not going to be policing blackness or saying this is how black folks are supposed to act. Instead, it's recognizing the fact that these creators deliberately employ and promote harmful stereotypes because they know it will gain clicks. Oftentimes when critiquing these types of things, we don't know how to separate the two. And the next thing you know, niggas start sounding like Joe Clark. On the other hand, this video is not trying to advocate—
I can tell you what black YouTube is. Black YouTube is stuff that you most likely will never ever see any other race do. You never see any other race do no pop the balloon or no 20v1. You might see the other race be in it, but you never see no other race most likely host it. And if you did, it didn't blow up because we're not coming for that. We're coming for, like, you know. I mean,
for a proper style of content on YouTube. At the end of the day, people use YouTube as a form of entertainment. Not every video on the site needs to be a 2.5 hour long think piece. Hell, you don't need to hear me talking for 2.5 hours. Sometimes you just want to engage in something fun, silly, and entertaining. There's nothing wrong with that. It becomes a problem when we start putting on a digital minstrel show for the sake of a few coins from YouTube and Google. This video is intended to ask why. Why is it that we've allowed this type of content to get away with going this far for so long without too much pushback? Why is it that YouTube has no problem pushing out this type of content and other similar narratives around black creators, but tends to get cold feet when it comes to others? And most importantly, why does this type of content specifically keep getting referred to as black YouTube, as if this style of content is reflective of every black creator on the platform? By doing so, we can not only see what's allowed for these types of videos to be made, but also how to handle them in the future going forward. To do so, in this next section, we're going to explore how these videos became so popular. More specifically, at what point did they start cooning out? Do the creators of these types of content know the harm that they're causing? How fine is the line between over-the-top
I ain't gonna lie, the harm is already done. I mean, they keep uploading these videos, but the harm is already done. It's already there.
Humiliation content and flat-out minstrelsy? Well, let's find out. Black humiliation content sits in a really weird position, as when you examine it by itself, there isn't anything particularly unique about this type of content. The concept of using dating as a form of
like, you see this? I think the Sidemen do this. Where they yeah, I think that's a Sidemen. Like, you see this right here. You see this,
and sits in a really weird position is when you examine it,
and you see another race. You see what she's wearing.
by
You
itself,
see, there's
there
a
isn't anything
a couch and all this. Everybody fully dressed.
The concept of using
Respectable
dating as a
clothing.
form of entertainment has always been around.
Then you go to our 20v1s and all this stuff. Girls is in the craziest abominations ever.
For YouTube, dating back to the origins of reality TV.
But it looked good,
It's always been around
'cause
and has always been
that's what
over
people
the
wanna
top
see.
in nature. For the most part, it's pretty staged. While what happens in them might not necessarily be scripted, the situations, drama, decisions, and resulting dilemmas are not organic. Typically, the directors and producers of the shows have an idea of what they want to happen on camera, and what's shown on screen is usually the result of those fabricated scenarios. This is a template you'll find across all reality-based media, whether it's dating or not. It's a part of the genre, and none of it is exclusive to any specific race. Now, YouTube, like television and streaming, is just another platform for this type of content to exist on. It just makes it easier, as you can directly engage with your audience and you have the liberty of operating on your own schedule. Because you have that direct engagement and feedback with your audience, this allows creators on YouTube to craft their content based on how their audience responds to it. If the audience wants to see wild, crazy content, the creators are gonna give the audience the wild, crazy content they want. In its basic form, there's nothing wrong with any of this. Even if it isn't your cup of tea, the concept of reality and speed dating are not inherently harmful. But because the style of content is so easy to make, anyone can do it. You end up with videos that are a dime a dozen. And with more and more creators jumping into the mix, it becomes more difficult to differentiate yourself.
That's what I'm
from another
saying, bro,
creator.
like-
The only way to thrive is to stand out. And when it comes to standing out, the more dramatic, the better.
Mr. White, what would be the first meal that you would feed me?
Salad.
A salad.
I don't think I need to define too dramatic. Niggas can get creative. It becomes a no-brainer that being more dramatic means more clicks. So
And the thing is, we are so creative, and we just going the wrong way with the creativity, bro. It's just-
naturally, creators began to start implementing more over-dramatic elements into these types of videos. From the dialogue, the responses, to the actions on camera. All started becoming more and more overblown to the point of becoming caricatures. The more the content leaned into racial stereotypes, the more views and clicks it got. This is the event horizon, our point of no return. This is the line that gets crossed from fun entertainment to minstrel show. This type of content becomes harmful once you become willing to employ harmful stereotypes and narratives in order to garner views. Now, reality-based content on YouTube has always relied on over-the-top, almost caricature-like portrayals of black folks. From the fabricated prank days of the 2010s to the street reaction videos you still see today. All have a
I was about to
tendency
say, I still read those.
utilize certain negative racial tropes, whether it be the brute caricature, the stereotype of the mindless, overly aggressive black man that's quick to overreact and erupt into a blind rage at the slightest inconvenience, or the sapphire caricature, the stereotype of black women being unnecessarily rude, loud, malicious, and obnoxiously overbearing. And how could we forget the Jezebel, the stereotype of black women being ferocious, promiscuous, lustful animals with nothing else on the mind but sex. All of these tropes have existed since the 1800s and continue to be present in our media.
Bruh.
They just take on different forms to evolve with the times. What would have been Step and Fetch It on the big screen in the 30s and 40s gets replaced by King Batch or Charleston White on your phone. It's also important to note that the over-sexualization is not limited to just black women, as these videos like to apply this harmful trope to black men as well. In fact, if you watch enough of these videos, you'll notice that if the punchline doesn't come at the expense of a contestant getting embarrassed, it's usually a low-effort sexually charged joke.
You gonna let me eat that ass?
Oh, yeah, no, I ain't talking about that shit. I'm just talking about shit.
Couldn't even ask the nigga how his day went. He needs to get a chance to clear his throat before you offer to make a
Bruh.
buffet out of his ass. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good dirty joke, but I'm not trying to hear every other guest get asked what their body count is. Now, the audience is not stupid. We know it's not real and that it's supposed to be played for laughs. But what's funny? How many times can we laugh at a nigga for not having a retwist? How many times can we laugh at somebody's fit or the way they're built? When all of your jokes rely on putting someone down or a crude performance based on racial stereotypes, then you're no longer just telling jokes. You've become the joke. And this isn't reaching for the stars. The creators are not oblivious to it. They're aware of the impact this type of content leaves on screen. Hell, they're making too much money not to notice. When all the viral clips and big moments involve black people being depicted or acting in a buffoonish manner, you're going to play it up even more in future episodes. They know they're employing these harmful tropes, and most importantly, they know people will watch them. In other words, it pays to I want to clarify on what I
It
mean
does.
when I say. While contemporary and historical definitions of the label have always varied, at the end of the day, they usually come down to the same.
Bro, what are these pictures? They really made
I'm
pictures like
specifically
this?
referring to when I label someone.
Lee.
It's the act of deliberately employing negative and harmful portrayals of black folks for the sake of gain from white people. In this case, that gain from white people comes from AdSense, literally shucking and jiving in front of the camera for a few coins from Google. You're aware of how this
Bruh.
content makes us look and how it's used to further push the harmful narratives around black folks in entertainment, but who cares about all that when you're getting that sweet AdSense check? That's what makes it. If there wasn't as big of a financial incentive,
That's
they
how
wouldn't be
a
pumping
lot
out
of people that's how a lot of people think, bro.
much as they do, and they
They
definitely
demoralize
wouldn't be
themselves
playing
just
up
for
the
that
tropes
little
as much as they do. At the end of the
little
day,
AdSense.
these creators know exactly what they're doing. They're aware of the negative consequences this type of content leaves on all of us, but they don't care. They're earning way too much money to care. As much as we can point fingers at the creators of this type of content, it still needs to be picked up by YouTube's algorithm in order to reach the audience that it has. But what exactly is it? What exactly is it about these videos that makes the algorithm go crazy? Why is this type of content so favored? Well, let's see. It's easy to ask why YouTube allows this type of content to grow and spread these narratives, but
it's
the
getting
real
clicks.
question is, why wouldn't they?
So you know I make content, so it's okay if you like my next video, you hold the camera on top of me while I play with my. Was that too much?
Hell no, that ain't enough.
It's not.
That's not enough. You gotta do more than that.
I know, but like you know, it might get.
I'm gonna hold the camera.
You gonna hold the camera?
Nah, that episode was the craziest episode, I promise you. Well, Arlette, bro, I let it slide with Arlette because it's like she comes with some sort of class. It's not no degenerate type stuff, bro. It's not no buffoonery, unless it's some of the people.
Yes, I see we've made it to the belly of the beast, the dreaded bowels of the creature known as YouTube. It's pretty difficult to answer why YouTube's algorithm continues to push this stuff out because, well, no one's really cracked YouTube's algorithm. No one truly knows the inner workings of the algorithm except for YouTube themselves, and anyone attempting to convince you otherwise is most likely lying to you. We don't know for sure how it works, but we do know that if you can keep your audience engaged, your content has a better chance of getting picked up. Earlier, we talked about how it pays to, and if you're willing to misrepresent and spread stereotypes about your own people, then you're probably in for a big payday. But out isn't the only way to get noticed on YouTube. Many of these channels only recently started doing it. How did the ones
Bro, you
that
see how
came
Charleston eye just went to, one of his eyes went to the on the left
on YouTube? Many of these
Look,
channels
bruh,
only
look at his eye.
recently started doing it. How did the ones that came before them years
Bruh.
prior make it in the first place? Well, drama. Drama has been and always will be a staple on YouTube. The main reason being
That's anywhere,
it's
though.
profitable. Regardless of the genre, community, or political leanings that a person may have on YouTube, drama is guaranteed to bring in clicks, which in turn creates ad revenue. If the content creator is big, oh, you can bet you're in for a big payday. Now, this drama manifests itself in different forms. It can be between two or more creators on the platform, or the drama could be the content itself. In the case of black humiliation content on YouTube, the drama is mostly self-contained. Like reality TV, it's those dramatic moments between the folks that keep you hooked. And one perfect example of this is the infamous pop the balloon or find love subgenre. In this format, the overall objective is to, well, pop the balloon or find love. Guests are invited onto the show in a lineup, and contestants take turn introducing themselves to said lineup. If the lineup likes what they see or are interested, they get a chance to get to know the guests. If not, the balloon gets popped. Some end up with matches, but most others get their balloons popped. It's a pretty simple concept, and when applied to dating shows, makes a pretty good entertainment model. When comparing these videos to your other 20v1s or street interviews, these videos are much less harmful. In fact, some of the bigger creators that use this specific format try to stay away from racial stereotypes. They don't rely on cooning or portraying black folks as buffoonish caricatures. For the most part, the hosts, guests, and contestants appear to be themselves in front of the camera. They're following the rules of the game and trying to find someone compatible with them. However, if you watch enough of these videos, you begin to recognize that they play into some certain narratives around modern dating culture and black love.
Yeah,
Talking about dating in today's world,
height,
specifically dating in the
the
2020s,
hair,
always
the
feels a bit weird.
money,
Almost because it's impossible to separate how massively social media has been integrated into it. It's really altered the way a lot of us operate on a romantic level, from the way we view potential partners all the way down to how we view our self-worth. Emphasis and praise is put on optics and aesthetics of love rather than love itself. We start forming unrealistic expectations based on what we see in other people partaking in or displaying online. Combine that with the fact that literally everyone's a relationship.
Like, you gotta be a type of person. You gotta be just a certain type of person. I don't know what it is, but you gotta be a certain type of person. Even go on one of those shows, I wouldn't even ever step foot on that show.
Nowadays,
Any
and
of
you
them.
end up with a confusing mess known
Unless
as
they paying me them
dating.
bands. Nobody paying me them bands.
Social media puts the concept of love in a nasty-ass narcissistic chokehold. The constant seeking of validation, the desire to constantly compare what we're doing to others around us, the need to outdo others, the viewing of others as options rather than people. Doing all of this while simultaneously not being willing to look past the surface level in other people.
Hello, welcome in.
Bro, I remember that video.
Closer, come on in, don't be scared.
Everything becomes a shallow sham, and love essentially gets commodified. Combine this with a young audience that hasn't gotten to experience what dating was like before social media became so integral, it ends up explaining why a lot of folks get so frustrated with dating nowadays. People are tired of things seeming so superficial, but when you play into those frustrations, it makes great dramatic content. This show and others that follow the format rely on playing into the frustrations of modern dating. It relies on everyone to have a sense of shallowness from both guests and contestants alike. It relies on them quickly passing judgment on each other, oftentimes without ever speaking a single word. All of the superficial traits we apply to the dating scene today, these shows play off of them. What this does is end up reinforcing those stigmas about dating culture, and with a platform and audience that large, it ends up doing more harm than
Oh, I'm
you
just
think.
thinking about it. Who does this animations? Because if he does it, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
You take a very small sample size of black men and a very small sample size of black women, none of which are reflective of an entire group of people, and have them play into harmful dating tropes for the sake of
They have
entertainment.
McQueen on there.
Yeah, you'll get some entertaining clips out of it, but you end up pushing harmful narratives. The same narratives that end up resulting in the classic niggas ain't shit and all women are the same discourse that hasn't gotten us nowhere since we got off the boat. But
That's what I'm
still
saying,
leads
bro.
to
They've been saying that for years. Niggas ain't shit. All women are the same. I was like, all right, bro.
question of why. Why would YouTube push this stuff out? Well, I think we already answered that. Why not? It's drama-filled entertainment, an easy check for both YouTube and the creators. They made their intentions clear years ago. YouTube pushes this
And
type of
YouTube
stuff
just
out
looking at this
because
stuff like,
it's
oh yeah,
inflammatory.
just keep on
It's the
posting. Just keep on
viral
posting.
moments
Yep,
that
that
will
one,
lead
that
to
one,
clicks,
yeah, just keep on
reactions,
posting
and
it.
discussions.
And they gonna
Doesn't
keep
matter
on
what kind of genre
promoting it.
you are, what style of content, or even what side of the political spectrum you lean upon. You can be left, right, centrist, or apolitical. If it gets the job done, that being feeds into drama, then YouTube will throw it out. Any way they can package the drama and shove it out, they will. We saw this with the prank days, the commentary drama, podcasts. We're now seeing it with this. These pop the balloon and other
I ain't gonna lie, I
forms of
miss the
black
prank
humiliation content aren't anything new. They're just the latest iteration. But there is one nasty implication that's left from all of this type of content. One that impacts every black creator on the platform. In the process of trying to criticize a lot of the drama.
Oh my gosh. These prank days gotta go. Oh yeah, these prank days, them prank,
foolery
yeah.
on the platform, a lot of creators end up labeling
A couple
it
channels
black
with the fake pranks,
which does more harm than
gotta go.
anything else. A recurring question I keep asking throughout the video is, what is black YouTube? But I mean, for real, what is black YouTube? What does the term even mean? The amount of black creators on this platform is uncountable, from gaming, streaming, commentary, podcasts, education, lifestyle, comedy skits, video essays, story times, animators, cooking, vlogs, anything a creator
Everything.
of any race would do. Black folks are doing it too. I don't know why a very specific genre of content that revolves around drama, mess, foolery, and stereotypes gets used as the go-to example of black content creators. You never hear any
I'll give you the one answer. and that'll solve all of this. SEX sells.
Everyone use terms like white YouTube. How silly would it sound if I started calling Mr. Beast white YouTube? Search up the term black YouTube and the results are usually something related to humiliation content. Search up the term white YouTube and well, oh fuck, YouTube don't even know what white YouTube is. It's us that's labeling stuff black YouTube. We're the ones that made all of the stereotypical and foolish things we dislike synonymous with being a black YouTuber. When you keep using encompassing umbrella terms like that when only referring to a very specific genre of content, you end up lumping all black creators into the mess.
What is going on?
And some of them that use this term know this, but like we said, it gets clicks. Why name your video black humiliation content when black YouTube has a better buzz? It's all clickbait. There is no black YouTube. I did give you a heads up in the beginning. In the process of trying to rightfully criticize this type of content, we end up hurting.
Technically, it is a black YouTube because they made it a black YouTube, but actually it's not. When you dig deeper, but
ourselves by calling it black YouTube.
Like this thumbnail and title is gonna be called Black YouTube. I'm calling that. Yeah.
Forgetting that all of us are also black YouTube. Now, naturally, you'd wonder what a solution to any of this would be. Luckily, I'm here to tell you that I have no idea. Yes, sir. We're fucked.
What's your type?
Bruh.
Light skin.
Light skin. That's it? You sure?
Okay, I was just being over dramatic in that last part. We're not fucked, but there aren't
we
really
are.
any solutions either. Proposing solutions to an issue like this is pretty disingenuous as you can't really get rid of any of the problems listed. The reason being, you can't get rid of any of the root causes. First off, you can never get niggas to stop cooning. You will always have. Hell, we haven't even been able to stop since we first got on this continent. As long as there is some sort of profit or gain that can come from selling.
But actually, you know how crazy her outfit gotta be for them to blur it out
and negatively portraying black people, there will always be some niggas willing to tap dance for a few coins and a milkshake. As long as YouTube doesn't consider what
milkshakes do be good though, I ain't gonna lie. A cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna tap dance too.
They're doing to be too extreme, they'll keep pushing the limits on what they can get away with. We can continue to criticize these videos all we want, but that's not exactly gonna convince these creators. We've tried that already. Hell, a particular creator was heavily and rightfully chastised for trying to exploit Lil RT, a 10-year-old who briefly went viral for his little gimmick as a rapper, exploiting not just him,
I made a video
but
on that
other
or
children
something.
his age. But what ended up happening? The comments just got turned off in the video. No real accountability or consequences. YouTube won't even do anything about the little gift card website scams that they like to promote within their videos. It doesn't become a problem until YouTube deems it a problem. And it's not limited to just the creators, but the viewers as well. While yes, these videos may be favored by YouTube, but at the end of the day, these videos are still around because people like them. They're raking in millions of views because the demand—
It's kind of crazy how this video didn't get that many. I thought it had like at least 1 million views.
Content like this is still high. People are still getting entertainment value out of it, which is its job. The truth is, most people aren't hate watching this stuff or angrily waving their cane at the screen. They don't see any harm in it. They view it as nothing more than silly entertainment. And I mean, honestly, what can you do at that point?
Not all the Jubilee videos are trash though.
Tell them to stop watching? That's why solutions to this feel so disingenuous, because at the end of the day, people are going to watch whatever they want to watch, regardless of how regressive or harmful it may be. You end up preaching to the choir. Another reason why solutions to these issues go beyond us as well, we can't control entertainment, nor can we control what other people find entertaining. All of the parallels that we've made between black humiliation content and reality TV still apply. They take whatever drama the audience wants to see and regurgitate it back on screen in the form of entertainment. To try and get rid of that would be like trying to get rid of any reality-based content, not just dating and YouTube, but in general. The usage of drama for clicks, portraying black folks as obnoxious buffoons, exploiting children, exploiting the disabled, scamming your young audience.
That's what I'm saying. You can do all this and people don't care. As long as they have money coming in, they're gonna do it. And if I promise y'all, if I ever get to the point where y'all see me do one of these, make money playing games and put a scan here, just know I'm lost. Yeah, I want y'all to hold me accountable. Tell me that I'm lost. Tell me I need to fix my ways. If I do that, I'm gonna tell y'all that it's a scam, and or I'm gonna post it's a scam later on or something like that when I get a check or something like that. But hopefully it won't get to that point. I just won't do that at all, you know.
These types of videos didn't create this. They didn't invent these tropes. They're just the latest ones to jump on the bandwagon. If these harmful tropes didn't exist in the form of this type of content, they would have had some other format to exist in. As soon as the audience gets tired of this type of content, YouTube will do something new to replace it with. From the videos themselves all the way down to our discussions and criticisms of it, it all plays into it, focusing on the same drama over and over again for clicks and coins, giving YouTube a massive to enjoy, whatever that may be. You want to watch a movie review, a video essay, a live stream, a skit, go for it. Just know that stuff like this and all of the other black humiliation content out there doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's a product of the way our entertainment industry works. And whether you love it or absolutely hate it, we're stuck with it. Whew, that was, what, about half an hour of me ranting? I don't know. You know, maybe I should go on one of these shows, you know? You see all these...
If it ain't a half an hour you rant, it's a half an hour you ranted with me talking with another rant inside of it. But yeah. That is black YouTube. Technically, there is no black YouTube, but technically, there is. Technically, you can suck me. I mean, you can subscribe.